Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm here with a few duels using my macro Monarch deck. Now I apologize that this is a little bit more than a week since I've posted the deck video. Um, as you guys might know, if you've read the description of my Machina duels, I haven't been feeling the best, and I tried my best to post with music in the background. Unfortunately, copyright-free music that I download apparently is copyrighted. Who knew? But yeah, if you guys don't know what Macro Monarch is, basically it's an anti-meta version of Frog Monarch, but you replace the Treeborn Frogs with DD Survivor and DD Scout Plane, in the sense that Treeborn Frog will return every standby phase, and DD Survivor and DD Scout Plane will return every end phase. Scout Plane is regardless of condition, and Survivor is if it's removed face up on your side of the field, it'll return. So a little caveat there, but overall, Survivor is the better card. It's an 1800, and I really like it because it stops their, well, it doesn't stop, but it hinders them from using Bottomless. It hinders them from using Dimensional Prison, if their opponent's running an opposing DD Warrior Lady or anything like that. And Macro is just a good card, or Macro, I should say, Dimensional Fissure, because that's kind of the main banish card in this format. Is just good against all the matchups, really, in the format. Off the top of my head, there's not really anything that it doesn't hit at least a little bit. So you're going to have an advantage there. Yes, it is essentially a blank once it's on the field, but if it's a blank that doesn't net you advantage but makes 2 to 3 cards in your opponent's hand dead, then I'll take that 9 times out of 10. And the Monarchs are just there to give you kind of a ceiling. You can play this as kind of a straight anti-meta deck. And I do have some builds I'm just running straight stun, that I believe that will be the next profile that I'll bring you guys. But the Monarchs do give you some ways to out-establish boards, which stun traditionally has a problem with. And then you can side into things like Vandy's Fiend with the tribute support that you do play in the deck. Vandy's Fiend is pretty much an auto win against most decks if you can establish it with any protection. And like I said, DD Survivor, DD Scout Play, and everything like that, it just hinders your opponent from using their traps, since this is a back row heavy format. And then you have cards that combo with it, like Cyber Valley, remove it from play with a DD Survivor, draw 2, return Survivor at the end phase, and then, Tribute Survivor next turn. Other Tribute Forward cards in the deck, like you see on screen right now, I have Macrocosmos with 1 Helios. Helios, unfortunately, is a Garnet in the deck, but if you end phase Macro and then get the Helios on end phase, to prevent you from drawing it, tributing it next turn is phenomenal. It's just a free Monarch, basically. The deck is good, but it has its flaws. Like, Gores is one of the most obnoxious cards for you to get around if you don't have something like a Caius, because Ryza, they could just reestablish the Gores. You do have, obviously, your back row outs, like Dimensional Prison, Mirror Force, anything like that. But I don't really want to play cards like Smashing Ground in the deck, because Smashing Ground, any threat that you're going to want to have is dealt with your Monarchs. Like I said, with Gores, it is a very rare exception, but if it is established, it does suck. But there's no guarantee that you're going to have those cards at that time, so that's why you do have Soul Exchange, like you're going to see on screen right now. Phenomenal card to outing established boards, so it does have its way to get around stuff. But unfortunately, the deck doesn't really have a lot of one-card plays, or 1.5 card plays, like how you see on screen against like a Grepher. Grepher and any generic Dark will start their engine up, which is why Vayu Turbo is probably like the best deck in the format. But yeah, like I said, the deck does have its plays. It has Macro and Dimensional Fissure and everything like that stops your opponent from basically getting their engine going. The Monarchs are good for spot removal. Anything above 2400 is a bit of an issue, but if you play your cards correctly, you could stall out with cards like Battle Fader, draw with Cyber Valley and your traps and everything like that. So that's pretty much the duels, guys. Let me know what you think of it down below, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.